Welcome back to the Cleats and Carpool Show, the podcast where we talk all things youth baseball, from the dugout drama to the post-game pizza runs. I am Coach Brian, assistant coach on my son's 12U travel baseball team, and today I am joined by my roommate, my little homie, the man, the myth, the legend, my co-host, and stud muffin of a player, my son Xander.
Really?
Really what? I thought that was a hell of an intro.
That was solid.
All right then, dude.
Hey everyone, I'm Zan. I'm 12 years old. I play shortstop, second base, and my slider can make your knees buckle.
Really?
Sorry, I'm all gas and no brakes today.
I guess this is really how we're starting the show.
Yep.
All right, well, that's good to know. In today's episode, it is all about why we chose travel ball and if we think it's been worth it. We're going to keep it real as always, sharing our family story from starting at a young age, going into rec ball, all the way up until now, where we are at the beginning of our 12U baseball season. For any new listeners, or if you're just from another galaxy and have no idea what the hell I'm talking about, travel ball is basically the next level up from recreational leagues. You could think competitive teams that hit the road for tournaments. It comes with more intense practices and typically much higher level of skill level. It's certainly not for everyone, but after 4 seasons already under our belts, I think it's safe to say it's been a very, very big part of our lives.
Preach, brother.
Brother, can you just let me cook? Just let me cook. Like I said, we've been in it for about 4 years now. I'm the parent who's coaching and driving the loaded up SUV, while Zan, well, he's attempting to hustle on the field. We'll break down the decisions, the cost, the time suck, and even get Zan's take on it all. Stick around because we'll tease some tips for new families as well. If you got your own travel ball tales, the wins, the wipeouts, and of course, the wallet woes, hit us up on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at Cleats and Carpool Podcast. Or you can email us as well at cleatsandcarpoolpodcast@gmail.com. We'd love to feature your stories in future episodes. All right, brother. You ready to jump into how this all started?
Yes, sir. Let's go.
All right. Well, then, that's the cue. Let's get into the show. First and foremost, I think we should give ourselves a round of applause. Because I think we've been working on this podcast for a hot minute. I think it's been a solid
2.
Well, we started it or had the idea of it in the beginning of November, middle of November. And then everything kept getting this, getting that.
Do you got like the plans for November or like October?
No, I started thinking about it at the beginning of November. Or even thought of the idea of it. Then we end up going into Black Friday, and I'm like, hell yes, I'm going to start buying all this equipment and this and that. And then it start coming together. And I'm like, you know what? There's going to be a lot of fun and actually doing. So before you know it, I think the process of actually getting the stuff together, getting the schedule of the topics per episode, that's when it started becoming real. Next thing you know, we're sitting in these chairs. I buy these chairs at a thrift store.
Yeah, you got it from a thrift store. I don't know.
I actually called you up. I called you up. You were at your mom's. And the next thing you know, the table coming along. I was like, okay, I can start putting this damn sign up on the wall. But now we are here, and we're rocking. We're rocking with our first episode.
We have plenty of episodes. I mean, we had plenty of struggles.
Huh?
Like the chords and like.
Oh yeah,
this.
yeah. I had to return this, return that. Couldn't get the damn thing running. But first and foremost, I do want to say we made it. We made it. Dab me up, son. Dab me up. Ow, that was my knuckle. So let's get into the actual show. What the people came here for. I do want to do a full rewind to when you were younger. And this is way before you were in rec ball, t-ball, travel ball, just being a kid. And the biggest thing is, I don't think, like to our mom and dad's friends, I don't even think a lot of people acknowledge that you were actually in soccer. You were in soccer. That was your first sport before anything even became before baseball, which is kind of mind-boggling because all I can envision you as a kid is running up and down the field, not knowing what the hell you were doing, but your long ass hair was flopping in the wind. Do you remember you playing soccer at all?
I mean,
Outside of like, because obviously you always, as when you were younger, you used to go through our phones and watch videos. But do you remember playing soccer?
not at all. Like, the last thing I remember from soccer was, like, getting my gear on. Like, I don't remember going, kicking the ball. Like, I was, like, 3 or 4 years old.
I want to say I think you might have been younger.
Younger?
I think you were younger because remember, you had your haircut at 2 years, 2.5 years old. We chopped the damn hair off. Thank God.
It's like,
yeah. Next thing you know, you had chubby chipmunk cheeks. I'm like, oh, there they were. There they are. But I think it was you were playing up with older kids just to get you out. Like, more or less, we wanted to try things out. So soccer was the thing. Mommy's, who the hell was it? It was Tammy. Tammy was a coach, and she got you onto a team, and it was a couple of older kids, but like you were one of the youngest ones. But more or less, that was your first sport. And the next thing you know, once we got your hair cut, and we're like, oh, let's try, other sports. Next thing you know, in the backyard, you're hitting freaking dingers over people's fences and
I
stuff
want
like
to go outside more and play baseball instead of, like, soccer.
anything else.
Level.
Like before anything else, that's all you ever wanted to do is play ball, throw a ball, hit a ball. I remember back at the old house when you were just a tot. Freaking, you kept making me want to go over the fence, or I had to pick you up to put you over the fence. And then you're hitting dingers over on top of the neighbor's house.
Yeah.
Don't even know where the hell the ball went.
I think we lost it.
I think we did. I think we did lose the ball.
We had that bat and ball together.
The bat and ball. Oh, it was like the combo. It was like a combo. Yeah. Because that was like a white plastic ball, wasn't it?
It was like the Tigers. Like,
well, we still have the Tigers one, but I think the other one was like a yellow. Which by the way, if I got a lot of videos I can bring up, and if you guys are watching, or if you're listening on podcast form, and if you were to go over to our video podcast on YouTube at Cleats and Carpool podcast, if I can figure it out, because this is all new to me in general, but I might be able to throw some of those old videos of you as a kid. Just being a kid, throwing the ball, hitting the ball. I'll try my best to put it actually into video form.
When I was like 1 or like 2, there was like an old video that I saw. Like, I used to scroll off your phone, and there was like an old video of me and you like playing catch, and I barely had like hair on me. I was like,
oh yeah, we were relatively close,
mm-hmm.
And like because it was a video of Mommy recorded it.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. Mommy had recorded it, and like I was stunned. Like I'm just like lobbing the ball to you, and you're just boom catching it, overhand throw. I'm like in the video, I'm looking at Mommy. I'm like, is this kid for real?
Yeah.
Is he really throwing this ball that hard at me right now? And granted, we were close.
It's accurate too.
Yeah, you were on point with it. And looking back at it now, it's like that's what gets me as a dad. Is looking to where you were then to where you are now, it blows my freaking mind, because at the end of the day, I feel like even then I seen something in you at that age to where you are now. And you're not even done. You're still growing. You're getting bigger, stronger, all that stuff. But like that was that first moment, like, and then that video, and like I said, I'll try to put it on the YouTube channel of like, holy kid. This kid might be something.
I was very young too for the age how I'm like throwing.
Bro, you were damn near bald.
Yeah.
you barely even had any hair on your head. And I think you were 1. I think you were 1 years old at that time. And even then, I believe you even had a swing at that time. Even if you were swinging with one hand or whatnot. But needless to say, let's get into how we even got into baseball now. So I believe in 2018, you were roughly 5 years old, and that's when we decided to sign you up for T-ball. I mean, you're running around the house with a ball and bat, so why not get you in T-ball?
Mm-hmm.
even at that age, we knew how much you already loved the game. And like every day that you would come home, constantly, you would just as soon as you walked in the damn door, let's go outside and play catch. It's like, dude, you just got no hugs, no kisses. What's up, Dad? How you been? Nothing. And I think at that young of an age, and as T-ball went on, you immediately found your love. That's the crazy thing. You were nonstop. You had so much fun with T-ball, and like, do you remember the kids in T-ball? You guys were so green.
Yeah, all I know was like they were like so tall. Like they were like
Yeah.
tall.
Well, you did come to find out, like as years went by, you did play up with older kids, which I did not know. Like by like 2 years. Like there was a couple of other kids that was on the team that had you by 2 years, a couple that was near your age. But even then, yeah, some of them were tall, and I thought we were in the wrong league.
Mm-hmm.
But even then, after T-ball happened, we went on to your first coach pitch, which was in April of 2019, which was with the Storm. Do you remember what that jump was like from T-ball to coach pitch?
It was definitely a huge difference since T-ball and coach pitch is two different things.
Right.
Coach pitch, you're getting throw at, like the coaches is throwing you the ball and you have to try to hit it.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, I was kind of like used to it because I used to do that with you, you throwing the ball and me hitting it. But once I started like getting used to the coach getting like throwing pitches at me, then it started getting like easier, and I like started.
Well, now that you say that, like, yeah, we would always throw balls to you to hit, but it was a different atmosphere. It wasn't just dad and son in the backyard throwing balls at each other or whatever. And plus, like, well, no, because we were using T-balls. We did have a bunch of T-balls in our arsenal to be throwing and practicing with. But it was I think for the big jump for you from T-ball to coach pitch, it was the atmosphere. Now there's no T. Now I know my timing with my dad, but I didn't know the timing with this coach.
Yeah, they can be fast, slow, or just have a huge
arc, dude. They set you up, brother. They set you up so many times, right? I think one of the coaches in that first year, like, because you were smaller, it's
a harder target for them to actually throw.
Exactly, which looking now at 12U, they still struggle with throwing you strikes because you are smaller, but not your problem. I mean, in that department, you got good genes. Give me some on that. You know what I'm saying?
I got advantage.
Yeah, you got a little bit of an advantage, but there he is to send one down the middle on you, right? Yeah, I think that was a big learning curve going from T-ball to curveball or curveball, T-ball to coach pitch, just because the pace, the pace of the environment and the type of pitches that you were seeing.
And there's like two different like people, you and like a coach that I just met just the year.
Like a few days ago.
Yeah.
yeah.
And granted, for the rest of my life, and then I have a coach that came out of nowhere.
Right. And then that was a successful season. Like your evolution of the game just it got even worse. Well, not worse. That's a wrong term of it. It just amplified, I should say. And then I think we created a habit of like, hey, we gotta keep this kid in others, or not in other sports, but keep this kid going in baseball. He's loving it. Mm-hmm. Why would we, not take advantage of every spring and get him in ball? Well, before that, then we end up going into another season in 2020. But if you were unconscious during that time, COVID happened in 2020. Which, by the way, did anybody else's kid go around during the COVID year of like your own kid was calling you out that you had COVID? This kid went around everywhere. I could clear my throat, or anybody in the family will clear their throat. Oh, coronavirus.
That was like a trend during that time. Like it was like a woman saying coronavirus, so I got that like from TikTok and just kept on saying it to people
everywhere.
And I like during COVID-19, I barely knew like what it was, since like everybody was getting like their mask on, and I was like, okay. I didn't know it was that bad.
Yeah, I think around everyone at your time, everyone, the seniors in high school down to the kids, I think what, first grade, second grade, first grade. Yeah, because you went from kindergarten and
I started first grade, and then the rest, I think maybe the rest of the year, I was like on Zoom.
Yeah, for schooling.
Yeah,
for schooling, which that was fun. But
that was very fun.
Yeah, but I just had to tell that little tale of this kid just walking around everyone and telling like, "Oh crap, he's got corona. She's got coronavirus. Throwing the vampire
Or
up.
if like someone just got sick but doesn't have coronavirus, I just still say it. If they're like sneezing, coughing.
I'm surprised you're still not saying it, to be honest. You were saying it so much. 5 years later, well, now we're into 6. 6 years later, 6, 7, Jesus Christ.
That's a new trend around here.
Anyways, because COVID in 2020 was such a problem and everything was shut down, we could not find. We couldn't even go to our normal little league. That no one was having a season, and we couldn't even get into our season until I think it was late summer in 2020, where you end up joining another league, Macomb Township at that time, and we had no idea about them. So we're like, yeah, get the kid in. Like, he's been cramped up in this house for so long. We're only playing in the backyard, can't go anywhere. Let's get him signed up. But unfortunately, the problem is that you end up playing for that team, the Yankees. For those who don't know, my heart belongs with the Detroit Tigers. But my heart also belongs with the Boston Red Sox.
He's imposter.
First of all, I'm not an imposter.
He legit, like, one day he like asked me, I think, oh, the Boston's game is on. We should have went to that game, or like, I don't know, something. And he said like with Boston versus, I don't know, but like, I was like, why would we want to go to the Boston game? We're a Tigers fan.
What you don't know, here's a fun fact. Xander's name, I got the idea of a young prospect. This is where I got his idea, was from a Boston Red Sox prospect named Xander Bogaerts. He was a dog, he was a stud, and ironically, he also played shortstop. That's where I got his name from, and he wants to get into my butt about me being an imposter Red Sox fan. You're welcome, by the way. You have a cool name. 12 years later, I haven't been thanked for yet.
Yeah, but people keep on spelling my name with a Z.
That's their problem, brother. That's their problem. Needless to say, 2020 was a wonky year, but he was with a new team. Unfortunately, like I said, he was with the Yankees, but it was another season that's went through. And where you also seen, I believe, we got some video of you at playing first base. The shortest kid on the team, yet again, playing first base.
I was surprised they even hit my target. Like, some of them just like went everywhere, but like.
Yeah. Do you remember playing with the Yankees?
I do remember playing with the Yankees. It wasn't so much different from a different team. Like I said, it was like the same thing, but like new teammates.
Mm-hmm.
So it's totally like different. I was like a shy guy. I didn't know how to make friends. I didn't know, like, instead of friends, I just went right to baseball. I didn't care about anybody.
And that's funny because, like, I always say, like, even with the boys on the team now, I always say about self-awareness. You acknowledging that you were shy, it's kind of huge. Looking back, like, you were so shy until you actually got into school. It was hard. It wasn't hard to make friends. It was just like, I don't know. It's hard. It's hard to put into terms of.
I wouldn't like talk to anyone.
Yeah, you'd be friendly to people, but I think by being in baseball, I think that did help though. In some ways, grand scheme of things, being around other people at the same age with the same likeness of wanting to play the game or even get better, I think that definitely helped you. But
even like parties or sleepovers, getting them to know you by like inviting them, or like, for example, at recess, I got invited to play soccer or something, and I wasn't doing anything, and I wasn't making friends. And then at like school, I made like some friends of like playing soccer and stuff
Yeah.
at recess.
Yeah. Like I said, I think you being in sports in general, and that was part of the reason why we even wanted to put you in sports, baseball and whatnot, is to help you come out of your shell. Not to take advantage of you being an athlete and wanting to be better at the sport that you loved. It was just getting you out there. You know what I mean? So, yeah. So with that said, we went on to coach pitch again, another season in 2021 with the Grasshoppers. And I think you really came out of your shell as a player.
Yeah, that was probably my best year yet.
Yeah. I think you were just grinding a lot between 2020 and 21. I mean, hell, you were home so much for even 2020. Granted, you guys went back to school or I want to say late 2020, right? I think you guys went back into school late 2020. But I think even that downtime where you're able to put more reps and this and that, next thing you know, you were smashing the ball. You were putting the ball in play. Your glove got a lot better. I mean, heck, even for the people during that time, a little tip here is when Zan would be home so much, how often did we go when it was rainy outside and the damn kid would say, "Can we go play catch?" I'm like, "Xander, it is rainy outside." But the one thing I did, like even till this day, I still have some of my T-balls because I love the bounce in them, creating a bounce, creating a hop on them, is we would go out to the front porch all the time when it was rainy or didn't want to be in the mud, and I would just send you grounders.
Backhands, forehand.
Yeah, like that's like, and that one that got him off my back. At least we went outside, played some ball. But I think using a T-ball as long as you can to create a hop and just training your glove helped you so much in general. Which, looking back at it, I'm like, okay, high five, Dad. You did good there. But one thing during that season, you end up winning the championship for Coach Pitch, the final season there of not the final season, the spring championship. Then we evolved into, which was weird because like there was when we played for the Grosse Pointe team, the all-star team, and you got handpicked to be on an all-star team that would go to Grosse Pointe for a district, to compete for the district for the Little League World Series. And I think me and Mommy was thinking, I'm like, holy crap. I'm like, did our kid just get recruited?
Yeah, because there was like, for our team, there was only like 4 or 3 people pick who was like very like good at the sport, or like very like can hit the ball, who can like field or all that.
Well, that was the all-star game, which you might be confusing, where it would take the people in the Little League, 4 per team, and then you would play in the made all-star. But like with the boys like Enzo, Camden, and all of them, that team was spread out, like one kid from here, one kid here, and all you guys were recruited. Essentially, that when with the lack of and the lack of words of, you guys were recruited at such a young age, and I'm like, are we in travel ball already? What the hell's going on? But it was like a cool experience because it gave you something to look forward to. And with that team, like I think you had 2 practices a week until like the tournament. It was a 1-day tournament, which was like, okay. But one thing I do want to keep in mind, which we should definitely shout out your mom. I think obviously, like we've always put in our work separately. I do believe your mom has played a major part in your growth. And I think we should definitely acknowledge that. Even when you were younger, I think I want to say from 2 to 3, your mom was coaching high school softball. And there was a lot of times where she would take you to practice, right? Like she was taking you to practice all the time. But I think that was at a young age. I think that was you seeing how organized ball, it's not baseball, but organized ball got set into your mind at such an early age.
Yeah. I saw like softball girls ripping the ball at like practice and stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm just eating Burger King. I had like the crown on like they used to serve us crowns.
Oh yeah,
for,
yeah.
Yeah, and I always we always get like Burger King or like pizza or something like that.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Sitting on the bleacher eating a little nugget from Burger King with a crown in your head.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, king of the castle over here. But one thing, I remember this being brought up about you coaching the girls at such a young age. Do you remember this?
Yes, I do. I taught them a lot of things I didn't know about softball that completely turn how do I describe it? I taught them some things about softball, like how to run the bases or how to hit the ball.
Okay, yeah.
But I teach them how to field, and it's how to pitch, and it's total opposite.
Yeah, because you're all underhand.
I just go overhand, and they just go underhand.
Oh, speaking of that, now that you bring that up, there was such a period of time where all you wanted to do was pitch underhand like the girls in softball. Do you remember that?
Yes. I remember they make a big smack with their glove when they're pitching, and I always
yeah,
every time.
Here we are trying to help you with pitching because we're thinking about taking the jump to kid pitch, and next thing you know, I'm trying to get you out or trying to get you to stop throwing or pitch a softball. Or let me rephrase that. Pitch a baseball, not like a softball pitcher.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was a fun time. But shout out to mom. Shout out to mom.
Shout out.
Shout out. Shout out. Shout out.
What's up?
Yeah. So with that said, around that time, we ended up signing up for fall ball for the first time. We always done spring ball, but around that time we decided man, if we're even gonna look into travel ball, maybe we should get him into a fall ball league for kid pitch. And boy, that was, we ended up signing up, not knowing the logistics, the team, and all that. We were just like, hey, let's get him one season in kid pitch before we decide, hey, do we want to jump into travel ball and do an 8U team or something along those lines? When we did that, first day of practice, I should say the first couple practices was chaotic. There was one coach, and that's the thing about rec ball. You never know who the hell your coach is until you get an email sent to the parents.
You don't know the players too.
Yeah, and the players are always new. They're always getting, so it's hard to build a dynamic and chemistry within a team if you don't have the same players. And unfortunately, some teams do get stacked because I want to play with this friend, I want to play this friend, this friend. We've never done that. Mm-hmm. Wherever we signed you up,
I really had a lot of friends then.
Yeah, and and well, you also weren't in you were still in school, and a lot of your classmates weren't playing ball, or you didn't have ball with them, or you didn't have class with some of those kids, so you don't exactly know them. Knowing now, how many kids do you know in your school right now that play ball? A lot. Now that you're sixth grade? Yeah, sixth grade. But even then, in that fall ball season, seeing the coach for two practices, I came to find out he's just a dad. And it was over time where I think he was just a dad that was just volunteering. And there's no shame. We need more coaches. But where Xander's level was compared to where a lot of those other kids that was on the team, I was like, holy crap, he literally is just a dad. And I don't even know if he watches baseball. Yeah. So it's I took the initiative. I did have a coaching background. I did love, I recently was coaching wrestling the prior year for the high school, and I loved coaching. And at that point, I was like, hey, I went up to him. I was like, hey, I would love to help you out any way I can. I'm going to be at these practices. And be like, yeah, let's go. You can be another coach. And thankfully, I think I set the ripple tide of another dad, younger dad. He played softball, a men's softball or co-ed, whatever. He was like, dude, I'll help you out with the team. I'm like, yes, okay, it's just not me.
And it was a cool experience because seeing my dad out on the field with me and like play like we don't have like even numbers to play catch
Yeah.
like in the beginning of the practice, and I think one time I played catch with you and it was like a cool feeling because I was like I'm playing catch with my dad in front of the whole team and stuff.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
parents and families and oh, thanks, man.
Mm,
That's cool. That's cool. Did it just crack your knuckle?
yeah.
But like even at that time, like that was a cool feeling for me because not only was I, like you said, I was on the field with you, but I was like I loved being in that environment with my son.
Mhm.
But I also loved coaching and I loved the game. And that was it was a breathtaking moment because I couldn't ask for any more at that time. So fast forward getting through the season, I think it was more or less of like, okay, I can't wait till the season's done. And it wasn't because of the coaching or watching you play, is because like, brother,
I'm fixing it. What?
that's gonna be getting picked up.
Yeah, I know.
Are you done?
Yeah.
I think it was fine right where it was before you touched it.
No, I was angling this way so they can't hear me because I'm talking like that. You know what I mean.
Anyways, yeah, I think that was the ripple effect that sent us into, okay, let's get off this team and get into something organized. And right around that time, me and mommy was talking about like, hey, let's try travel ball. Like, let's get you into something. Like, because at the same time, you were having fun as a kid, but you were also outgrowing the teams you were on.
Mhm.
And I say this all the time: surround yourself around people that you want to grow, who you want to become. Because like either it's going to come, if you're around the wrong people, you're going to become toxic yourself if they're toxic. If you're around good people with good attitudes, want to grow, same like-minded, you're going to grow with them at the same time. And that's where I thought about with you in baseball. So at that point, me and mom was like, all right, let's go, let's get you on a team and go do some tryouts. So we end up taking you to your first tryout, which looking back at it, you only went to one tryout.
What tryout was it?
The team that you're on now, brother.
Oh yeah.
The team that you're on now, which we had heard about the team before because the guy that is running it now was also our high school teacher. He was a dog back in his day. He played at I believe Eastern, I believe it was Eastern Michigan. So there we had some ties to who was running the organization and all that stuff. Do you remember your tryout? Because we took you and we actually knew who the manager was at the time because he had also coached at our school where we all went. Me and mommy went to school at. Do you remember your tryout at all?
I remember some of it more than my first tryout ever, but like my first tryout, I was like with my whole gear and stuff, and all I see is like huge people, like much huger than the like coach pitch and stuff. And like I didn't want to say anything.
Hold on, did you just say huger?
Huge. I said huge.
Oh, I thought you said huger because I was about to make fun of you. Go on. Much huger people. It's okay. I'm not judging. Go ahead. But you remember more bigger people.
Yeah, and then like I was still shy. I wanted to speak up to them. I wanted to talk to them, but I didn't know how they would act. How would they like would they respect me, or like what's their personality and all that kind of stuff. But
Yeah.
for the rest of the tryout was pretty good, and yeah.
Yeah, I think right away after the practice, because with the AU team, they have enough kids coming to the practices, or they don't have enough. And I think at the time they were still looking for quite a bit, and it was still early in the tryouts. But I remember right after the tryout, he had came up to me and mom, were like, "Hey, he's got a spot." We're like, "What? What? He's already on the team? Like that? That was quick." Like it happens
It's
so.
only like one tryout. Usually, like when we give out tryouts, it gives like a couple of tryouts for the kids to come and like because usually we only have like an hour or hour 30 minutes for tryouts.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, hour and a half to 2
I
hours
only had like a
maybe.
first day.
Yeah, first day, and which go into a little bit of a teaser. We will be talking tryouts and how that works out in our next episode. But tryouts, I remember as a parent, like I was like, is my kid gonna get cut? What's going on? And you got people running all over the
And
place, and
I was like very scared. Like I didn't know like the whole thing about tryouts. I didn't know if I would get like in. Like yeah, I didn't know a whole thing about tryouts. I just played ball. I didn't like worry. I didn't like
you didn't worry about making the team.
yeah.
You just were doing who you were. You were doing you, brother.
Yeah.
That's what's more or less what you're saying. And that's a great tip. Don't go into a freaking tryout thinking, oh, this is a tryout. I'm trying to make a team. But like more or less what you're saying is like, I just went in there and I was doing me. Like do what you were supposed to do.
And don't change any adjustments that you weren't.
Yeah. Whatever you came to a tryout with and what you were been grinding for or what you've been grinding on, just trust yourself.
And if you don't make it, you have more tryouts to go to.
100%. 100%. That honestly, that's good advice, brother. I couldn't agree with you more, man. The pros right off the bat, I think way better coaching. We had something that was grounded, drills that actually built skills instead of like, all right, boys, go up there and hit that tee.
Yeah.
Good job. I like that. Like you can only do so much with that. And it didn't feel like it was babysitting.
Yeah, it was more like
rec ball felt like a practice. It felt like and often I remember going to some practices, like parents would just drop them off and they were gone, which looking back at it now, it still happens now, but it felt like a daycare when it came to rec ball, penning your coach. If he wanted to teach growth, you know what I mean? But the cool thing is we had the chance to get, well, I don't want to say you had the chance to get exposed to real competition, to level up. You only get better by, like I said, surrounding yourself by people that are trying to level up as well, or the people or the teams that you're facing is going to push you to level up yourself. And that goes into like learning stuff like base stealing and pitch counts early on, you know. It accelerated your game big time. If you ask me, did you see any pros right away outside of those things that I just mentioned?
I seen a couple like great people that was like hitting the ball well and pitching well fast. I wasn't really throwing fast at AU. I was kind of just throwing the ball and hoping of a strike. But as I improve, I see like more people and like doing this kind of stuff. So I kind of just matched it, and I kind of just like grow.
Okay, so more or less like you were like matching their energy and what their movements like. Oh, he threw a strike. Let's see if I can try to change this.
Yeah.
Or like you're by being around other solid players, you're trying to mimic what they were doing good.
Yeah.
Dude, I love that. Looking back, signs it was a right move. I do think you started loving the game a lot more. Just because like I almost felt like you snapped into not a Slim Jim, but you snapped into this another mode of like, oh, let's grind. And like we started going to like parks and hitting the balls more and more as soon as AU had started. But if I had to say a wrong sign, it was how ramped up it got. Like, because I don't think we were ready mentally, even for parents, because like in the sense of like practices and whatnot, could we have waited another year?
No.
Like, do you regret starting at 8U? Could you have waited till 9?
No. Like
Explain.
when like I wouldn't like do that because since like I've been talking and like more in AU, and ever since like AU I've been like talking to my friends and like not shy, and I like had great people or great friends and ate you, and I just met them. And
Yeah.
I don't really just snap in and just say, "Oh hi, I'm Xander," and that's
Yeah.
like that's right when I just started saying all those stuff.
Yeah, you develop more of a personality because if for what it is, I feel like you started gaining some brothers. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like you were seeing them all the day, all the time. You were seeing them at every practice. You were like minded, and it's like, okay, I just gained a brother that I didn't have.
And it helped because I had like more sleepovers.
Yeah, yeah, I 100%, 100%,
Yeah.
absolutely. That's like, and a lot of people might be judging of like when should I get into travel ball? Is it too soon? Is it too late? Like looking back at it as a dad, like yeah, it could have been too early, but at the same time, I knew you wanted to be tested. You wanted to grow, and you also love this freaking game. You know what I mean? Um, I think it was a good move. Rec ball was becoming too easy.
Mhm.
You know, you were getting bored. And the drama with the team selections was lame. You know what I mean? Like I want to go play with my friends, and those all friends were on the team 2 seasons ago, and they were smashing everybody. It's like, what are we doing here? You know what I mean? Um, I remember my first time. You had your one of your early practices, and I would always go to the practices. In 8U, and I had talked to the coach or manager, and I was like, "Hey, if you guys ever need help, I'm always here at practice. I'll be willing to help out." And right then and there, just like he told you, "Yep, he's on the team," he was like, "Yep, you're coaching." I'm like, "Holy crap!" And that was such a wild moment because one, I offered because I love the sport, and I had such a great time coaching you and your team, even though they were a band of misfits. And some of them didn't have no clue or knowledge of how baseball worked or this and that. I got a joy out of just helping other kids. I love the details of baseball. The little, like you could tell the people, like I always talk details, you know, watching these kids add a little detail at a time even at that time, and with the Braves, it was such a joy. And before you know it, by me asking or letting the coach know, I'm like, "Hey, I'm here to help." And next thing you know, guess who's coaching? Dad's back. Dad's on the team helping with coaching, and it's from then to now, it has been an honest blast. Even though it's because of my work shift, it was kicking my butt for a long time, and now that I'm on a new shift, I feel like I have a new sense of energy when it comes to coaching, and it's been awesome since then. But the challenges, I think Tryouts was at well, they were intense as a parent walking into travel ball for the first time. Suddenly it's not just Saturday games when we were playing rec ball. You know, it's practices twice a week and weekends away. I remember our first time when we went to Northville for a tournament. We ended up making it to the championship, and we were so exhausted in the semifinal because it was a barn burner. Our adrenaline was
And we were
pumping.
so excited because we were so excited because we just went to the championship and that was our first championship ever. So
Yeah.
we didn't even care about the championship.
Yeah. Well, too, like the semifinal was such a gritty game, and it took a lot of heart, a lot of grit, and pushing through a little bit of adversity against the team that we were playing. And by the time the game was over, I don't even think we had arms. We don't know if we had arms. I think we might have had one or two that we had.
Did we pitch Cam?
Ooh,
I think we did.
we might have.
Yeah.
I would have to look back at it. But yeah, we were so exhausted. Even as hitters, when we got to the championship game, we were exhausted.
Barely hit the ball at all.
Yeah, we were all dead. Even as coaches, I think it was
And
all
the coaches was still proud of how like we came to the championship.
100%.
They weren't mad that we were exhausted in the championship. They know that we've worked hard through like getting to the championship, and all that.
Absolutely, and we were. It was a gritty finish. But earlier in that tournament during pool play, I remember, guys, there's a lot of bad coaches out there. A lot of managers, assistants that do too much and can put a bad name on their teams. We were playing one team, and it was eye opener for coaches. But we were pitching against them at the time. Hitter was in the box, and there was a couple that was riding inside on them. And their coach happened to look over and said, "Hey, just let it hit you." And that was the most travel ball initiation I have ever seen in my life. Like, be careful about who you are looking out for, coaches, organizations, teams, because that is something you do not want to play for. And I'm glad we did not end up in that type of situation where your coach is telling you, "Zan, just wear one off the side of your helmet," which is, it's insane. It's insane that those things actually happen. But looking back, there was definitely doubts. Even deciding to get into travel ball, was it too intense for a kid your age, or would you miss playing other sports or just hanging out? After joining and getting your feet wet, I don't think there was ever been a situation better than where we are now. But with that said, let's get into the money talk, because this shit ain't cheap. So we've tracked it over the years, and it's quite eye-opening. Starting with the basics, registration fees typically run $2,000 to $2,400 per season, and that's $2,400 per season. Uniforms and gear can run anywhere from $300 to $400. Yeah, do that one more time. Yeah, big eyeballs. And that's counting if we're getting like a 2 jersey package, 3 jersey package, 4, etc. And then we got our bats. Bats alone can cost.
I'll say one thing about bats. If your kid isn't like making progress with the bat, or like anything with like, are they hitting the ball with that bat, or like they doing good, don't just buy the bat. Just like, don't buy the new bat that's like $300 or $400 and they can't even swing it with it. And that's just a waste of $400 and $300.
That's another great take, dude. You're dropping wisdom today. First episode, you're dropping wisdom left and right.
Sir.
Yes, sir. I think you definitely have a point, because a lot of people think that a $300 or $400 bat is going to fix your swing. It's not. It is not. Having good mechanics will fix your swing. The bat is just a tool. That is it. If you have bad mechanics, it's not going to fix everything. All right. But dude, like I said, you're on fire.
And like, I saw T-ball. My sister plays T-ball, or used to. And I see like hypes or like.
And T-ball, they're using hype fires?
Hypes. And even like when she's playing coach pitch, they're using hypes. And that's 300.
What are we?
And it's not even long. It's like 200 or 300. And
the smaller. Holy cow.
It's not even gonna last long, especially when it's short, and they're gonna
grow right out of it.
And especially they're going T-ball, and they might just go to coach pitch and all that.
Yeah, and they have to use certain. I didn't even know that's illegal. Do they make T-ball bats for hype, or do they make hype fires?
No, I think I saw.
Are people cheating the system? What are we doing?
I think it's coach pitch that I saw some kid have like a hype bat. Yeah, it was coach pitch.
Oh, brother, I was about to have a heart attack. Use the hype fires in T-ball? That's wild. That's a wild take. Tournaments. Entry fees are typically $400 to $1,000 per event. We typically do 8 to 10 tournaments a year. Our first season, we used to do a lot of scrimmages or how should I say it? We were battling with other teams, but we were in like this little division of teams. And in that division, everybody was like, "Oh, wait, I'm just going to go separate, and we're all going to do tournaments." And we're like, "Okay, I guess we're going to do just tournament only as well." But you also like you can as a team contact other coaches, teams, and set up scrimmages during the week. But we typically do 8 to 10 tournaments throughout the spring and summer, and sometimes like we've already done 1 or 2 tournaments as we speak, including fall ball. But thankfully, with all this cost, we do fundraise as a team to cover the cost. Then we got travel, gas for drives, hotels that can start at $150 a night for multi-day tourneys. Meals out because who has time to cook? Am I right? Am I right? And then you got things that like are added benefits, like private lessons, which can be $50 to $100 or $125 once a week during the off season. But like for us, thankfully, that cost didn't even start. You didn't start seeing a hitting coach until late last season, right?
It was like last year.
Middle of the season, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, because now we're on a regimen. Shout out Pat. You the man. Yeah, I'm glad that we didn't even jump in that until late, and because I mean anywhere you can save money in travel ball is always a plus. But here's a fun fact, which is freaking crazy. Nationwide in 2025, families have spent $3,700 to $8,000 per year on travel baseball. That's team dues around $2,000 to $4,000 plus $3,000 to $5,000 just on travel and lodging for out of town tournaments. It's needless to say, costs have jumped big time as of late. A tip here is just is a budget early, and you should definitely, even before you look into a team, don't just jump into a team because you're just going to chase wins, trophies, and whatnot. You have to pick a team that actually fits you. I mean, yeah, we talk about $400 bats and this and that, and grossly added stuff onto registration fees. Do what's best for your family. What is within your budget? Stay at a hotel that fits you guys perfectly. Don't just get a suite just for the hell of it, just because you're trying to fit in or whatever the case is. Do what's best for your family. Looking at it, it's truly an investment, but you also need to know what you're signing up for. From 8U to now, at 12U, we've dropped quite a bit of cash. Team fees starting low but climbing. Uniforms, bats, gloves, tournament entries, travel expenses, private lessons, and camps can add up too. We started the private lessons within the last year and a half. But for us and the family, at least, I didn't incorporate mom's side of it, but we're easily over 15,000 just for you to play, and more or less equipment and this and that. What you've gone through? 3 bets? 2 bets?
2.
Thank God. Could you imagine if you had a bat per year?
8U, I used 8U, I used the team's bat.
Right.
And 9U to 11U.
You had your Cat X.
I had my Cat X, and then that went to the dumpster fire. Yeah, no pop, and I think the middle.
No, you got your icon last year.
December, like.
Yeah. No, April. You got it in April.
Oh.
But you had your icon for the last season, and then we had our warranty. That's the good thing about some of these bats. They do come with a 1-year warranty, where if you do crack it or it's dented or whatever the case is, keep your receipts. That's another fun tip for you. Keep your receipts of your bats, because, for example, Zan has a Rollins icon, last year's model. It was hot as can be. Like you've been smashing the ball out of it, but we took a closer look at it, and he had like 3 or 4 cracks in it, I want to say. And I was having issues, but shout out to Coach Danny for taking some pictures and sending it in for us. He ended up getting this New Year's icon. So keep your receipts. They do add up, but you can also carry that bat into the following season as well, which I believe 13, I gotta double check. 13U to 14U, you'll be going to BB Core. Which here comes a new bat fee. Like I said, we're over 15,000 easily, and that's pretty conservative because like we haven't had any fancy showcases yet. Big high dollar tournaments, unlike like going to Cedar Point as a team. That's a pretty costly one, but we did put a hefty payment down for Cooperstown for this year, and that was a big cost, but that was also a fundraise at the as a team as well. One thing I do want to notice, since I just brought up Cedar Point, that is another thing where I knew we were in the right fit as far as you and being in travel ball. Take my side out as a coach, but you having a 3-homer as an 8-year-old kid, having 3 home runs across 2 games, I believe. I think it was 2 games. That was the first moment, and I cried, folks. I cried. Make fun, I don't care, but I was a happy dad that time. And it was one of those moments I'm like, yeah, I think this kid is in the right place. Because all that 1 year grinding as an 8U to finish that off as an 8U on the cool 8U field. That's the only cool field, by the way, at Cedar Point. Can we agree on that? That's like hot as can be. It was hot as can be.
It's turf too. So.
Yeah, like I think there was lava. I think there was lava under those fields. Did we ever check?
No. Let's go digging.
Yeah, I think they have a damn volcano under those fields in Sandusky. But carry on. I think that was another moment of like I felt like that was the right thing. Like at that moment, it solidified my thought. Like, you know what? Maybe this was a right move to go to travel ball. To jump back forward to what the hell we were just talking about, hitting costs, which no one talks about, is getting time off for work or having to use a vacation day and stuff like that, just for the coach or travel. Missing family gatherings. I think I already missed 2 of them this year between parties, stuff with my brother. Mommy has to like finagle schedules around. Like one parent has to go this way, one parent has to go that way. But I think in the grand scheme of all of it, compared to rec ball, if it was worth it, which rec ball is typically no more than $200 a season. Brother, you're at $2,000 now. That's the low end. Bro, if you don't stop hitting your mic,
I don't know.
Keep your hands to yourself. You're killing the quality. But if we're doing other activities like family vacations instead, man, it's a tough call. If drawing the weight of if it's worth it. But we've learned to budget better, like delegating certain funds in other directions. And I think for me, for those, well, if this is the YouTube world or friends who are listening, like I resell on the side. I love reselling vintage gear and all that stuff. And heck, we actually went thrifting one day and we found those Spider-Man shoes, those Into the Spider-Verse shoes.
Oh yeah.
And I like more or less I was trying to teach Zan like reselling in general and how he can pay for his costs or pay for just to get extra cash in his wallet. Was I think they were like $15. Yeah, we cleaned them up, we listed them, and before you know it, we end up selling them for $75. So we went from $15 to $75.
It was like popular in like 2023 since the movie, like the second Spider-Man came out like during that time.
Yeah, and mind you, they were a kid size. They weren't even adult size. So like there is other ways. Like if you trying to figure out how to pay for your kids stuff or whatever, like check out reselling. It's something that I enjoy. It's something I can't get him to go thrifting for the life of me. But then there's some days
stays in there for like an hour.
I'm making money, brother.
I can do other stuff in an hour instead of just looking for stuff.
Like what? Complain that I'm hungry.
I don't know. Fortnite? Stay in this house. Yeah, Fortnite.
Oh, yeah. Trying to get some crowns, brother. Honestly, between delegating the funds in other directions, I think reselling is the way to go. or just Uber Eats, or there's other ways to bring in some funds for you guys. Now let's further get into the time crunch that being in travel ball pains us. Time is the other big one. Weekly, we practice 2 to 3 times. That's like for 2 for sure per week, and then we might sneak in an extra practice on a Saturday during the off season. They could range from an hour and a half to 2 hours each. Games can be had midweek sometimes, but weekends are locked up for tournaments, often Friday to Sunday. We do like to stay within the state for the most time. And we don't, honestly, we don't really go outside of more than a couple hours away. I mean, we can have something right around the corner to
The closest we went to was like 15 or 10 minutes.
yeah, from where we live. It was a hop, skip, and a jump. But we've also gone out to Indiana, to Ohio. Yeah, boo, go Michigan. Go blue. Shameless plug. But honestly, that like sometimes going out far to go play against better competition, if the competition is totally worth it. Family impact, the pros, that like those road trips. Those road trips can be fun, bro.
Yeah, it depends like where you gone. Like example, like Ohio, there's Cedar Point and like rides and like hang out with your like baseball teammates.
Yeah.
Stay at the hotel.
Yep. The hotel pool time.
Yeah, run
And
around.
drowning each other.
Oh yeah, that was fun.
And even for the lobbies, for the parents throwing a couple bush lattes and margaritas back. Like, well, I'm sure we'll get into more stories about that. Us getting kicked out of our hotel in Indiana. That was the worst experience of our lives. But we're gonna save that for another day. Cons, there can be burnout from no downtime. Possible schoolwork on the road, missing family events, vacations. Essentially, our vacation is a bye weekend. We're on a bye week, no tournament this weekend. You could be a normal individual and actually have plans. Time commitment. This one's huge. What's a typical weekend look like during the season for a tournament? Brother, that was a hell of an awkward silence. Like, so if we have a tournament, what's it typically look like?
What do you mean?
Oh, brother. So like Friday comes and we got tournament in the morning.
Oh
my gosh.
I got you.
Say less, fam. Say less. I got you.
It's very tiring because usually on Fridays I stay up when I shouldn't.
Yeah, no. Well, yeah, okay. At least you're calling yourself out. You don't stay up too late.
I stay up till like 11 or 12, and we have like we have to get there early to practice for like 1 hour, and then we get into the game.
Okay, let's put it this way. How glued is your phone to your face when we say, hey, let's call it, get your butt in bed, and you're like this?
No, I'm not. It's like this.
Or for the camera, his phone's like this. Am I wrong? But anyways, so typically we have pool play on Saturdays, depending on when the tournament starts. Friday, we're in bed at a reasonable time, getting energy, wake up at a decent time. Sometimes we've had plenty of tournaments that the games were at 8 o'clock. So we would have to wake up at 6, get up, breakfast, the whole 9. We would have 2 games, and we would typically have the whole Saturday evening to ourselves. Pending if we went 2-0, which for our team, we're a really good team, we would be with a first seed or second seed into the tournament. So we wouldn't play a little bit later until like a noon game or something on to start off the bracket play. But honestly, I think even if those weekends, like, they can be tiring. What do you think?
Yeah, especially like on Saturdays when it gets to summertime or close, it gets very hot. And be prepared because sometimes, or most of the times, we have like wet towels to bring with us to put on our necks and wet it. And I think one time a tournament. I invite all my friends after like the semifinals, and yeah, semifinals, and we won. I mean, no, we lost, and then we just they went back to my house, and we had like kind of like a pool party, get all nice from the sun and stuff, and just pretty much relax.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, and then like even the time crunch when it comes to off-season training. Like we're in off-season training right now where we're already doing 3 times, 2 to 3 times a week. And this is the grind mode. Off-season training, when the season has not even begun, this is where you get better. This is where you should be focused on details and this and that. But you can also hit major burnout from doing too much. And I truly believe in your mentality and your mental health and mental awareness of like, would you feel like you're actually feeling burnout or you're tired, it's fine to take the day off, and you should definitely do that as well. And that's the thing with travel. Travel ball flips the script. There's more games than practice, which it can be, which isn't ideal for development. Guidelines say, kids this age need more practice for the skills, but a lot of teams do prioritize winning. You know what I mean? And that's where the burnout does come from. The wild stat that always keeps going around: 70% of kids quit organized sports by the age of 13 from burnout. Overuse is extremely real. And many travel players get little off time, and they raise injury risk. We know a kid that our whole team, because they were more or less a rival for the past 3 years, where we would always battle every time we played them. And the kid is a stud, but every tournament, this kid was pitching 150 pitches. 150,
especially like championships.
Well, even then, like they would pitch him early, they would pitch him in the championship, and they would just ride this kid, and because they didn't have any other pitchers. And I think as parents, we need to be cognizant and understand like they should not be using my kid this much. Now we're at 12U, and from my understanding, the kid does not want to play. Like, we don't know the full backstory, but we know that he just doesn't want to play,
or he just doesn't want to play for the team, or just
either it's a team, or more or less he hit burnout.
And he's a good player too.
He's a great player.
Yeah.
Like
hit the ball, pitch.
Hit the ball hard as hell. He can pitch, throws a nice fastball, and it sucks for kids like that to go down like he's experiencing right now. I know that's why. I know for you I've noticed with you this, like, burnout is real. That's why, like 2 years ago, I think you got asked to go play on a fall ball team, and I left it up to you. But I did tell you, hey, it's up to you to make the decision if you want to play or not. But I advise you to think about it and take this mental break. And so, because we train from November, December, all the way up until July, that is such a long time to, miss out hanging with your friends, miss out on your damn Fortnite or whatever, just being a kid. And that's why I gave you the option. I'm like, bro, it's up to you. You need to take care of your mental, because you fail so much. Not you in general, I'm not calling you out, but the game itself makes you fail 70% of the time if you're batting 300. You take a lot of failure. That is such a struggle on your own mental, and sometimes you need a reset. And the proudest thing you told me, like, you know what, I think I am going to take a break. And I'm like, okay, good, because one, I need a break.
It's summer ball.
Huh?
It was summer.
2 years ago, I thought it was fall ball, because we ended in August, and then you got asked to play. Remember, fall ball begins late summer.
Oh yeah.
And then you would have probably had like a month off or something. And you talking injury risk, stress in your arm. There's so many components there. And that's why we build in breaks. I mean, you should definitely watch for fatigue. Rest prevents injuries, and it's the only way to keep things fun. But Now, speaking of 12U, this is going to be a little bit of a co-host takeover. And I want you to be honest. At 12U, do you think travel ball is worth it? What do you love and what bugs you?
So at 12U, right?
Yeah, I mean, it could be anything with over the years up to now. Like,
So
what do you, now that you're at this age, do you think travel ball is worth it?
I think travel ball is worth it because since 8U with my friends, you can stick with the team and all like you can like leave the team, but like for travel ball you can stay with the team. And with for my friends, um like since they stick since they
Take your
stick
time, you're good.
since they stick to the team,
Mm-hmm.
I love that because like they're all my friends since I was 8 years old.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
a thing that bugs me is like, huh.
Well, let me comment on what you had just said. More or less, you're saying is because of travel ball, you've created a brotherhood, and since a lot of us parents we've become a family as well, and that's the thing about travel ball itself is like you become so close knit. It's not just the kids that's going to practices, and they're grinding. It's the families that create this ecosystem of we all have love for each other. We all want to see each other grow. And that is such a cool experience. And those are those memories that we are creating. There's like, you can go back to 8U when Mac did this. Well, 10U, and like you had these little core memories of your childhood and you're still with them even 12U later. And that, yeah, you can be together this year, different somewhere next year, or a couple pieces get added, or a couple other players get added to the team, or these guys like at the end of the day, you guys created such a brotherhood that even if you go off to middle school, high school, and you're no longer travel ball, you've created this brotherhood. Like, dude, you're gonna be my bro forever. You know what I mean? When that's such a cool thing about baseball in general.
And I'll add on of like what I said. The thing that I like love about travel ball is um is the parents also. They also hype us up or like they cheer for us. They're not just watching the game and just being on their phones. We it's like we entertaining them and they just cheer for us.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a cool feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I like the answers. I think not only is like the road trips are fun and playing better teams, making you guys better. It's the competition. I think seeing you guys get tested is like the best thing of like because there's so many freaking things that comes with facing better teams. I want competition as a coach. I don't want to see these teams that we're playing and we're beating them 15-0. Yeah, they're cool. We're collecting a freaking W. But are we growing in those big blowout wins? It's very little. So when we do face those teams that are better than us, I embrace it. It's a great feeling, and I'm seeing you grow. You have your ups and downs, but that's the joy of baseball. Um, I don't think. Do you feel like you miss out on playing with friends because of baseball, or having free weekends, more or less?
Um I enjoy like playing with friends and stuff, but like the weekends, like I enjoy like baseball without it. Like without the weekends without baseball, but like I like have to I like freedom without like baseball.
Yeah,
Like
100%.
having free time instead of like baseball is just relaxing and you can do like other stuff than just baseball.
Mm-hmm. Like taking advantage of downtime.
Like
Our bye weekends.
yeah, do like
No tournaments.
yeah.
Like, oh man, I could have a mental reset. I'm telling you, that's why I preach it. It's like having a mental reset for baseball players is, and especially kids. Your damn brains are still growing. You
Mhm.
got another. How old are you? 12. I think
My
you got
birthday
you.
was December 9th.
Yeah, I think you got another 10, 11 more years until your brain stops growing. Like your emotional state, your mental state, all of that, you are not done growing until you get old. So like, why would we at this age want to run you into the ground, overdo it, overthink it? It's like, bro, you're still a kid. You know what I mean? So taking advantage of that downtime to do kid stuff is so important. But I think for the parents, I think you should be talking, or I should say, the players. You should be talking to your parents if it's too much. Being vocal, I think that is very important for players that's out there. That about the kid that we know. He probably actually reached out to his parents and probably said, like, I'm done, I'm tired, and that's the right thing to do. Don't be shy. Like, you should be able to go up to your parents and have an open communication line between one another, and parents, like, checking on your kids often. I think that is so important. Like me and Zan have so many deep conversations, whether about a down day or whatever the case is, and just see, hey man, are you good? Are you tired? You need some rest. I know it was a rough day. He might not want to hear it at the time, but there will be an opportunity to have that conversation when your kids are ready to. At the end of the day, that's the benchmark. You should be hitting that note with your kids over and over. But at the end of the day, you can say that it's been mostly fun and you've been enjoying it. Yeah. Let's get into some underrated stuff about travel ball. The bit of the stuff that I should say the positives that don't get enough love. What's underrated for you? In the sense of like, what is some of the best things about travel ball that doesn't get talked about enough? Your take. It could be the friends, obviously the Brotherhood and friends. You did mention that.
Yeah.
What is some other stuff like baseball related?
Just
I do got one personally as a coach. You want me to go first?
Yeah.
All right. So one of them, because we've had plenty of them, is our come from behind wins as a coach. I say that it doesn't get talked about enough because they come, like, we win often. We hit 40 something wins last year. They were gritty wins, but those wins where we're down in the fifth, bottom of the sixth inning, and we just have that aha moment, boom, and we just come back from down 3 runs, take the lead. That shows something with our team, to be able to battle through adversity. To like, yeah, you're pissed off because I'm over 3, and next thing you know, that kid that's over 3 just hit the game winner.
Mm-hmm.
That, like, I'm getting goosies right now talking about that. Like, I'm not even talking about a certain situation, but like, there's something awesome as a coach to see, like, that kid's been struggling. He didn't take those first 3 at bats and he hit the game winner, or he hit a 2-run double, cleared the bases. You know what I mean? Like, every one of you boys have had something over the past 4 years of something along those lines that had those come from behind wins, or that a big pitching inning. Like, you coming on in one of the games with runners on, and you just adopted those runners, and then you strike out the side, or you strike out 2 of the 3, or you create a double or a ground ball or something and gets the last out. Like that, like stuff like that, what gets me as a coach. Do you have something?
Like you said, with me getting the last out, some people don't get like the enjoyment of getting the last out and or getting the final home run or the championship, or even general in the championship. You get like a triple. Like, some people don't enjoy the triple or something like that, but if you hit the triple yourself, then you can enjoy it and all that.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. Some underrated, I think, bonds from the carpool chats. Just talking, whether we're singing Forrest Frank, shout out Forrest Frank. Hotel hangouts with the families. I think those are totally underrated. And the life lessons and the resilience and time management. Those are things that are, I feel like, that are totally underrated. There's so many life lessons. We talk all the time how there's so many life lessons in baseball, and that's why I love that he's keeping the love for this game, because this game brings so many lessons. Skill wise, facing diverse teams builds adaptability way better than staying local. There's a big difference between the adaptability being rec league to where we're at in travel ball. And those aha moments in big games, something just clicks. Like I just said, the player just like, oh, I get what coach is saying. Oh, I get the feel I just was supposed to get. All you guys have experienced that. It's just really cool stuff. Overrated. Here's a big one. Here's a big. What's overrated to you?
To me.
Yes.
Oh, let me think.
I can go first.
You
make
go
you
first.
think. What I think is overrated is just because you play travel baseball, you think you're going to go pro. I feel like a lot of kids at this age think they're on such an all-star team and they're collecting trophies every weekend. They think they're going to go pro. It's a freaking big myth. Travel, like people thinking travel ball or playing travel ball is your ticket to scholarships or pros. The reality of that is there's such a small percentage of kids that will go all the way to the pros. Like most high school players don't even play college ball, or they don't make the cut, or they're just like, all right, I'm done. And then with the pros, it's even more smaller than that. So I do think with parents should temper the idea of like, my kid's not going to go to the pros. Like, I'll be happy for you. Me personally, like, I think you're a dog. But at the same time, we got to have a little bit of humility and think like, what are my chances to go pro? The only thing that you can control is how much work you put in. You know what I mean? How much work you put in will take you where you got to go. But there's also kids that are on travel team that are just there to have fun and thinking like, okay, I'm on a travel team. I'm making it to the bigs. You know what I mean? I do think that is the overrated aspect of travel ball. What do you think?
I'll add on to yours.
What a cheater. You can't even come up with your own. No.
I'll add on to yours. Like, as we like talk about the lessons, like the hitting lessons, that will improve to go into the pro, not just playing the game and then you just have the break for the rest of like the week, and then you have another game and then another game, and you don't put any work in fielding or any of the options for baseball.
So more or less, I think you're saying you think what's overrated is you thinking that just because you go to a game or practice, you're going to become better.
Mm-hmm.
Hell of a take, because a lot of kids do think that just by going to practice is enough. They do think because I'm going to practice, I'm going to be playing in the game. Like there's multiple aspects. And honestly, that's probably going to be another take in another episode. And I think that would be important to talk about is you have to put in the work. If you don't put in the work, the success and the excellence of baseball of your game is going to die out. Yeah, couldn't agree more with that. Like early specialization doesn't guarantee your success. You know, being a multi-sport athletes do often perform better long term, and they do have lower injury risk. So I think even with being overrated, a lot of kids just play one sport. I do believe that you should be playing as many sports as you can at such a young age. I feel like a lot of people feel like they have to play only one sport at this age. That is a totally overrated idea and thought. As a kid, be a kid. Other sports help other sports. I tell like with whether it's, for example, Zan, you're a shortstop. I talk about arm angles, right? Creating your arm angles, going 2 and 3. What other sport compares you throwing a ball?
I wouldn't.
We talked about it.
We did?
Brother, what's a football?
Oh, yeah, football.
We're talking about a quarterback, how I tried sharing on the run throws.
Yeah.
A lot of, and once you realize like, oh yeah, I do throw a football like that. And we start working on the runs. You start seeing the comparison. Other sports help other avenues as well. Just like wrestlers playing football, football players wrestling. There's a lot of comparison that will help one another. Winning at young ages is overhyped. I do believe that growth trumps championship trophies. I want to see these kids get early reps and succeed often just because they're growing. I don't care about championships. I don't care about rings. Yeah, it's a great feeling, but are you growing? You know what I mean? So winning at young ages, yeah, it can be overhyped and it's a temporary feeling because it does go away after a day or two. And then when we're right back to the grind, you know what I mean? Game heavy schedules do lead to overuse, with injuries accounting for half of youth baseball issues. We should be prioritizing fun and growth over having the elite labels amongst teams. Travel balls, it's a mixed bag for what it's worth. It's worth it for the growth, the memories, but count the cost and the time. There's definitely valuable lessons all the way around. So with that said, verdict time. Is travel ball worth it?
Yes.
Why did you whisper?
Yes.
Yes. Honestly, in my view, yes. The growth, the memories, your growing passion for the sport, that makes it worth the cost and time that we have put into it as parents, as a coach, and you're not going to notice it now if you haven't already, but when you look back on this, I think you will, if you don't already appreciate it. And I hope you do appreciate it in some way. But with the caveats, I think having mandatory breaks as a family, you got to have some family time outside of baseball and sports and whatnot. Watching out for burnout. And we should be encouraging other kids to do other activities, not just sports. I was telling Zan about what school you're joining. You're in middle school now, 6th to 8th grade. I was telling you, dude, why don't you get in a choir? Why don't you get in this? Go meet some
singing is good.
Yeah, meet some cuties in choir class. That's what I did. I'm just saying. We should we should just
back in like 1999.
Who? Me? No.
2003.
Brother, I was 10 years old in 1999. We didn't even have choir in what grade was I in? 4th grade, 5th grade? At that time we had band.
2006.
2006 I was there you go. I was in high school. I was a junior. And yes, I was in choir. But I also I did other sports and all that stuff. But more or less encourage other activities. Zan, do you have any final thoughts?
Be you.
What the hell does that mean?
It's a lesson. Be you. No, not a lesson, but just reminder. Be you. You get it.
All right, folks, be you. If you love baseball, you should definitely go for it, but keep it fun. We definitely love the sport. We are invested in the sport, and it's helping our relationship as well as a dad, coach, and a son player. And I couldn't have it any other way.
I'll say this.
Go ahead.
So as an adult, don't just put your kid out there just to play ball. If they have something attached to baseball, or they like throwing a ball or hitting a ball, then throw them out there to play baseball. But if they don't play baseball at all, if they just play a whole different whole different sport, and they play soccer or something, then just don't put them into baseball.
So you're saying don't force them into a sport?
Yeah.
If they don't have, that's a great take. It's forcing them into a sport that they don't have a love. You have to chase something you love. Go after something you love doing. And as parents, that's a great take. We should be pushing our kids. That's why I push you, because I know you have a love. You started that so early. And I told you since day one, it's like, all right, brother, you love this. I want to push you. You know what I mean? That's a great take. Well, that's going to do it for this episode of the Cleats and Carpool podcast. For sure to hope you guys enjoyed hearing our story and that you will be back for more episodes. Be sure to leave us a 5-star review on Spotify and Apple Podcasts or wherever you're listening, and share this podcast with anybody on your travel baseball teams or even families. You can hit us up on our socials at Cleats and Carpool Podcast on Facebook, Instagram, and our YouTube channel if you want to see us in action. And you can shoot us a story on how you and your family got into travel ball at Cleats and Carpool at gmail.com. Brother, I got to work on that part.
This isn't the intro.
Oh, they don't want to hear our intro. We had 34 takes.
More than that.
I know. Again, we'd love to hear you guys' story. Speaking of next episode, I apologize now, but I will be going solo, where I'll be talking about the tryout process, giving you guys the nitty gritty and tell you what really goes on behind the scenes. You're going to want to tune in for sure. Well, folks, until next time, brother, we'll see you on the field. We're going to have to work on that. Take care. You totally forgot about that.